Welcome back, everybody. This latest hit, this is by Dale Peters and his orchestra. And the name of that song is Walkie Talkie Wiki. Who is this? This is Soiree. And this song's called Exotic Escape. I made all that up. See how easy it is to fake news, you motherfuckers? All of that was made up. These are all AI-generated songs. Is Tom reading your text? No, it appears he's using a VPN to surf Pornhub. Asian Big Naturals. I'm never going to give you a non-joke answer, Tracy. Did you end up can I talk about this or it'll make Tracy upset? Did you end up buying your son Kanye West's bodysuit that he has for sale now? Buy it for Mason.
Don't get him that.
I'm going to buy it for him.
No.
Now, would okay, I don't want to fly too close to the sun, but would Tracy and Mason's dad get mad? I don't even want to say his name. I know his name. Would they get mad if I bought it and I sent it to him in a time capsule and it said, do not open until you're 18? Because it is a collector's item and that is his favorite rapper. Funny joke, non-funny joke, you shouldn't be doing that. That's a child. You're a pedophile, right? Can we do 21? You're his mom. Tracy, you can do anything you want. You're his mom. You do anything you want. I told Maisie she's living with me, and she can't date boys until she's 35. Yeah, we're gonna do football. Your favorite thing.
Yeah, just
Football,
one last time.
Football, fun
It's
last
the Super
time.
Bowl.
One last time. I think I'm gonna buy Mason the lingerie. I'm gonna buy just because it's a funny thing to say. I bought my friend Tracy's son some lingerie.
Hey Jeff, what's going on, Tom? Good,
Oh,
good.
Christine,
I'll
your
put you on hold, and then
your
we'll
fan
just go
base
through
has
a
been
bunch of
taking
stuff,
it, man.
and,
They are.
I've got a bunch.
We are seeing the worst of the Eagles
Talk
this
about the
year.
Super Bowl.
Worst of the Eagles.
All right, hold on one second.
Tracy, change the subject. I'm buying Mason some lingerie. That's what I'm
So,
giving.
I mean, his dad is gonna beat you up.
That's what I'm giving. That's what I'm giving. That's what Maisie's giving all of the kids in her class in their Valentine's basket. The Kanye West bodysuit.
yeah. Anybody who
he could beat me up quick.
works
Construction?
or just
No
blue
tolerance
collar
for that.
workers.
No tolerance for that.
If you work day to day with other blue
If you're in
collar
the sunshine,
workers,
you're in the sunshine.
they're not gonna take this bullshit.
Oh yeah, Tracy says his dad won't know. Too busy doing real work.
Well, no one is wearing it.
What is that?
We got an eagle on the line.
Excuse me, Eagle, are you setting up? Who's setting off bottle rockets? Is this my Puerto Rican neighbor? What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Do you have us on toilet phone?
No, I've got you
Oh my
two going
God.
into a
Hold
squeaky
on.
door
I
of
am
one of my
buying you
kids' apartments.
WD-40. Hold on. Go back to that door. I can't let you get away from this. Melissa, mark this. Go back to that door. Sharp square.
All right, you got it, Dennis. I have to pick on the maintenance guy. This guy doesn't.
I want to hear that door again.
Is that work?
That was a grade A haunted house door.
Is that
Oh, there it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah,
Haunted house door.
yeah, he did it again. That's why I love this guy.
old dilapidated mail office.
Why you don't say that?
Well, that's what it
Is that where you work in the
Well,
mail?
it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I knew.
It's where it keeps the bodies. All right. Mr. Van, would you like to begin?
What Super Bowl is this? Is this
Oh, my God. Off to a
58?
great start. Off to a great start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Nerd Jock. Melissa marked that. That was
Yeah, I did want to say you guys
keep track
do
of
so
that.
many segments, and this seems to be the consensus one that everybody hates.
No.
So thanks for bringing me on to ruin the show.
You know what? That's not fair because in fact, I get very excited anytime you're on the show because I love your delivery. I love I love when you come on the show.
No,
And I don't think that's fair. And they don't hate it. In fact, we had more women vouch for us and say that they had it wrong. I had more ladies write me on that stupid guy's post on the BDM group. More ladies actually stuck up for us and said, no, they don't even do that much of it. And in fact, it's almost over. We begin it and end it with sharp square, right? It's like the Daytona 500 is the first race of the big season, and then the last one is what, Talladega or something? It's like you bookend it. Tom's not listening to me. He's trying to still looking to see what's
What?
He doesn't know what Super Bowl it is. Off to a good start. Welcome to
It's
Nerd
the
Job.
start. I'm going to yell.
Start.
I yelled about this last year, and we're not doing nothing about it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, Sharp Square, hold on to your hats. Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Go find us at Tom and Dan Live.
Get your tickets for Kids Night at the museum at
Yes.
the Orlando Science Center. It's this Saturday. You can get your tickets at osc.org.
Don't let your kids be bored when you want to go out to a fancy dinner. Drop them off and let them do something cool.
Yeah.
A great facility that has fun things to do. Better than the iPad.
A bunch of activities. They feed your kid pizza, and you pick them up at the end of the night, like 10 p.m.,
Yes.
and you can go out to dinner
If
with
you
your
remember.
partner.
If you remember.
Yeah.
If you're like me, you fall asleep in a parking lot trying to tap your foot for an anonymous man.
Yeah. And they will call the cops on you
Yeah,
if
they
you
will.
don't pay it.
Yeah, they will.
Because I would. I mean, like, those parents left their kid here.
Andrew and I saw that one time. We were taking Maisie to dinner. And it was like on a Friday, and as we were driving past her school, we saw a woman running to aftercare. She's running, like sprinting to aftercare, and then Maisie goes, "Oh, she's cutting it a little close." Even Maisie knows. Even Maisie knows. That's how, they know.
Well, we've all left our kid at school on a Wednesday, early release.
Oh, Maisie will never let me. She'll never forget it. She brings it up. I did it like years ago. Okay.
All right, so it's the Super Bowl on Sunday.
It is indeed.
And I know that some people don't like us talking football.
I don't think that's true.
It's the last time we can because it's the last game of the year for the NFL.
Yes.
And but before we introduce our guest and we go over Super Bowl props, which I wanted to talk about, let me bitch about why we continue to use Roman numerals for the Super Bowl, because I asked Daniel right before we started the show, what Super Bowl is this again?
Why does it matter?
58 or whatever, because
Why
I wanted to say Super Bowl 58
But
is
why
this
do you
weekend.
have to know? Why can't you just go like, hey, the Super Bowl's this weekend? Nobody would ever notice that you didn't say the Roman numerals.
So I jumped on Google. I'm like, Super Bowl 2025.
That's where you're wrong. Should have used ChatGPT.
and then it shows me a bunch of pictures of the Super Bowl
logo
with the Roman numerals.
Yeah, and you're illiterate.
And then I look at it, and let me ask you, what is the Roman numeral LIX?
Okay.
Okay,
LIX.
Because I look at that and I'm like, well, that doesn't tell me anything. It would if I knew Roman numerals.
L is I and the X. That's 29.
It is not that.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'd say it doesn't matter to me. I don't need to know. I would just say like, hey, Super Bowl's coming up.
Yeah. That would mean the Super Bowl started in the 90s.
I don't know. I'm just trying to remember
like
what
58 or something.
Then what is it?
On the line with us, he's the Sharp Square, Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
What's up, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's Super Bowl 59, and I only know Roman numerals because they've been used in the Super Bowl. So I like that I have that knowledge that I'm able to read those useful.
So you're like the slave that learned to read. Yeah.
Well, no, and they're good for nothing else besides the Super Bowl. You understand? That's the only relevant thing we use Roman numerals on ever.
Fancy watches.
Well, then let them have the Super Bowl. What do you got against the Romans and their numerals?
And I got close because I was going like L, that's got to be 20, and then I went X is 10. Everybody knows that. But when the 1 is behind the X, you take 1 away. When it's in front, you add 1 too.
Didn't they kill Jesus?
No. The Romans? Well, yeah, they did.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Anyway, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great, guys.
I like that we started our Super Bowl coverage not knowing the number of the Super Bowl and then sprinkling some religion on top.
So,
off to a good start.
We're going to talk props today, but before we get into the props, is there a side you like, Jeff? A side or total in this game? It's the Chiefs minus 1.5. Eagles are plus 1.5. The line really hasn't moved. And the total sits at 49. Anything you like there?
Now, do you know that that's the line? Was it written in Roman numerals? Because I can't really
like
trust
that. Get
you.
him.
Hey,
I like that.
you're
Get
the
him.
only one on your side,
Yeah,
Jeff.
insult.
Everybody that's listening hates
no,
this.
I'm on Jeff's side.
I'm just doing this for my own benefit.
Why does my opinion of Jeff not matter? Because I'm not because I don't use the lingo. That I don't know what
I know
the
you
vig
like
is.
Jeff, but
I do like Jeff.
But you don't necessarily like talking about
don't.
the bets of
My
football.
questions are very simple. I have a simple question. Who's the better team on paper? See, that's a layman question.
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I would say the Eagles are the better team.
The Eagles are the better team on paper. At least that's what a lot of
And why would that
pros
be?
are
Because I
talking
think to the layman, is Hurts is Hurts hurt?
It didn't look like it was last game.
he looked
obviously,
fine.
you get 2 weeks off now.
How's Saquon? How did you feel about him bouncing back after the massive game?
The Eagles look healthy. They're also getting a defensive line player back. I forgot his name, but he broke his arm, I believe, and he's coming back. And he's cleared to play. And I don't know how much use he's gonna get, but he is coming back. So, what do you think, Jeff?
I want to go with the Eagles, but I've learned a very valuable financial lesson the Monday after any time I bet against the Chiefs, especially when they're a short favorite. So as much as I like the Eagles in the game, I'll probably just pass on betting the side because I have a very few limited hard rules, and one is I just don't bet against God when he is taking the field in a big game, and that has kept me from going.
This is the stuff that drives you guys crazy, right?
No, to me, because he says you don't bet against God, and I hate that narrative out there because I want to bet against God. I love betting against God. Because there is no God.
The quest of this, so to figure this out, though, the quest of what makes you mad about it is the quest is for you to eventually be right. But what does that prove? It proves that truly it's chaos, right? It proves that you can never.
See, Jeff, that whole narrative of don't bet against Mahomes. He's magic. He's God. He does this every time. I've learned my lesson.
Well, could you make an argument that he's a good enough quarterback to manage a game well enough to win the game under any scenario?
I know he's insanely good, and I know he's got the most experience here. But the fact is, winning 3 Super Bowls in a row, there's a reason why no one's ever done it. Is extremely hard.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's undoable. When you say things like that, you always say it as if it's 100%, and it's never 100%, which is what always comes to bite you in the ass.
It's not 100%, obviously. Well, that's why I'm kind of like Jeff. I'm a little afraid of betting against Mahomes because I'm going to kick myself in the ass if I lose. But it does make me want to take that narrative and bet against it.
Don't you want to rub it in God's face?
Yes, I do.
Then I get you back
and I want to bet the Eagles because I'm like, just for the fact that it is hard to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And, things go wrong. Things don't go their way.
I think they're going to do it.
And you can't come back. The Eagles have an insanely good defense. And we saw Patrick Mahomes lose against the Bucs with a good defense. Now their offensive line was hurt.
So you guys hate the things that I say from like an emotional person standpoint. Like what I can add value to this actual discussion is, what if I'm the guy that says the Chiefs are going to win just simply because, and this is what I believe, they have the better team synergy. You hate that stuff, right? Everybody hates that stuff. I feel that. Andy Reid, Mahomes, the whole vibe, the way that they run their thing, their fans, I feel like they got the energy.
If you tell me better quarterback, better coach, then I'm like, okay. I'm saying? Sirianni and Hurts versus Mahomes.
I think they're
more
comfortable. No. I feel like they're more comfortable. They're more like they enjoy it more. Anyway, do your thing.
Let's get into some props. I want to run through them. So what do you got first, Jeff?
Well, because, again, your listeners are such big fans of all this football, AM sports radio talk, I wanted to focus a little bit on some of the goofier, some of the funner stuff. I've got plenty of stuff going on your regular player props and things. But I've bowed out for years on betting this national anthem because it has just brought me nothing but ruin. But this year, I actually, did a little bit of research as much as you can on it. The last 4 of these have hit the over. But this thing, the time is set pretty high on this. It's basically 2 minutes and 3 seconds is the total. And I'm going to bet the under. This guy who's doing John Batiste, I hope I'm saying that right. You know, it's sort of like a jazz artist, plays piano and all these instruments, but he's done the anthem in the NBA and come in right about 90 seconds. But the biggest thing to me is I like to look at all the sports books for indicators, and there's one particular sports book. They're considered a really sharp book, meaning that they take action from a lot of, heavy hitters out there, and their numbers are considered to be pretty darn good. They've got the under at minus 300. So you'd have to bet $300 to win 100. That tells me they're fairly confident that this thing is going to fly to the under. So I'm trying to jump on this now. It's hard with props because the limits are set so low. But if you're an action junkie like me and Tom, you got 6 different books you can go to and try to spread the money out.
Well, Tom,
but I like the under in the anthem.
Tom seemed to be as soon as you started explaining your bet, he immediately shook his head in disgust of what you were saying, which is what makes this segment fun for me, is seeing how you guys disagree. Personally, I would say with John Batiste I would say he's being a jazz artist, being highly talented, he's the guy's incredible. I was going to take the over.
Well, I will say a couple things. First, I lost a bet with Bovada last year on Reba McEntire because you got to look at the fine print underneath each bet because this year it says from starting note to ending note. It doesn't say from starting verse to the last verse, which makes a difference.
So note meaning note of what?
Piano, because John Batiste is getting. That's also a bet. Is he going to play piano with it?
Is he accompanying himself?
Well, there's nothing has been released yet, but I saw a bet is John Batiste going to come out with a piano, and I'm fairly certain it was. I
think he is.
And then Jeff does bring up a good point with these type of bets where you can know the answer. Like there are people around John Batiste that have seen him practice this, and especially day of when they do a run through, there will be people, janitors or whatever, timing him and then betting the whatever the time comes out to.
Janitors.
And it will anybody around there, and then it will inflate the market one side or the other, and you could follow that money and just bet that side and usually win that time. But look at the fine print because Bovada's got 120 seconds, 120 and a half seconds, and I'm going over. It's at minus 165, and it's been going up all week. So let's get to another national anthem bet that I love. And it's, will any player or coach cry during the national anthem? I lost last year.
Well, I lost because I didn't we collectively do a bet on this?
Yeah, because I
texted you immediately because I saw this fat ass crying on the sideline again.
And Chris Jones. So
super talented player, by the way. I shouldn't call him that. He can smash me like a bug.
So Chris Jones screwed me last year by crying during this, even though
this guy's a child. That's a baby.
My theory was that the Chiefs player had been here, the 49. Like last year, I was like, why would anybody cry?
You live at the Super Bowl, buddy.
So then, last playoff game, Chris Jones was crying again during the national anthem. And then I was screaming at my family, and I'm like, this MFer lost me money. He's crying again.
ChatGPT told me he cried at that really weird Space Age Bluey episode he cried at.
And then, so for sure, he's going to cry again. He cried last year. He's crying during playoff game national anthems.
He cried when his pecker fell out in the 40-yard dash. Remember that?
2 years ago, Nick Sirianni cried during the national anthem. So between Nick Sirianni and Crybaby Jones, I for sure someone's going to cry.
Crybaby Jones is hilarious. That's the name of the show today, Crybaby Jones.
So, that is a slam dunk. What do you think about that, Sharp Square?
I just remember last year, there's no way any of these people will cry. I'm not emotional, so no one could be emotional.
Oh, people love it when you say that. They love you now. You're endearing yourself to our audience right now.
This MFer's been there 5 times or whatever.
There. Yeah. It's like Brady crying at the Super Bowl.
What is he crying about?
Tom, what makes you think you are the person who should be handicapping emotional response?
That's
to
an excellent.
anything?
That's a really good point. I should do that.
Listen,
I should be
Stay in your lane, bro.
Yeah, I should
Okay.
handicap all emotional aspects of betting.
well, he's crying all the time. He's crying.
Dude, he's gonna cry so hard. He's crying right now in preparation for the Super Bowl.
Although the only bet I could find is on Bovada, and it's already juiced up to minus 500. So good luck with that. There's no money in it.
How do you look yourself in the mirror when you say things like juiced up? That doesn't make you want to not do it.
It's for me
You know?
and Jeff
I
and like 10 other
understand.
people.
I understand, but it's like, who's the guy from Rock a Love Bus? It's like the lead, Brett Michaels. It's like Brett Michaels when he says things rock into the mirror. I feel like it shakes his eyeballs.
All right, let's rock it through some of these, Jeff. What else you got?
So I just want to mention this one because it's a good way for people to think about multiple props out there. The silly, what colored Gatorade are they going to dump on the coach? We've talked about this before where they have all sorts of different color bins of Gatorade out there, and they're all shut. The players don't know which one has which color, so they pick one basically at random to dump on the coach.
When I look at Gatorade, I don't see color, okay? I don't see kind of racist.
That's very good and woke of you, Dan. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
I
But
know.
in this case, for some reason, purple Gatorade is like the favorite. And I get it. The last two Super Bowls the Chiefs have won, the Gatorade was purple, so people are betting purple. But it has nothing to do with anything. It's like seeing the last two spins on a roulette wheel were red and assuming the next one will be red.
We might be
So
looking
is
at this
just-
wrong. You said the last two Super Bowls, the Chiefs have won, the Gatorade is purple.
Yep.
If we can find out if that Gatorade is purple, we'll know if the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl.
No, but he said, but Jeff
It's
is
called
like,
reverse engineering. It's just science, guys.
they put multiple colors on the table, and then whatever they grab is rando. That's what Jeff's saying, and the odds are leaning towards purple because people are betting. It's funny because they're only the odds are changed based on the people betting. It has nothing to do with like the sports book randomly changing it to what they want.
Right.
It's like they change it as the bet
I think
goes
people
up.
think they get in there and they're like,
They're like, oh, they must know. It's like,
Yeah.
no, they're just using the people to change. They're like, oh, people are out betting purple. We're gonna just change the odds as they bet. So you're right.
It doesn't make anything else like necessarily, a go-to, although I did, again, silly history I've been studying here to prep for the show, guys, but like orange has been the most used color. And the first time the Chiefs won, it was orange. So I'm not saying I think that's, a stone cold lock bet on orange Gatorade, but you're getting better odds on all the other colors. Clear for you, Daniel, because you don't see color.
Well, I would say
of this disproportionate, allowance of all of the favorites.
So if
being, up the way they are.
So if you were trying to give Tom some information that he would truly value, let's just say I worked at the distribution plant in the city, right, where the Super Bowl's being, played, and I'm in charge of delivering the Gatorade powder to the stadium, and I realize the majority of it, 80% of the Gatorade I'm delivering there is orange powdered Gatorade. That's information that would be useful to you because that would make you think, well, maybe there's a little more orange out there than there is any other color. That's the type of stuff you like looking for, right?
Yeah. Also, it's not like there's people guarding those.
They should guard the Gatorade.
The Gatorade, so the
should.
players can't see. You could easily just go and look and see it. And the
It's
players
ours.
know that there's bets on this, so it's like they for sure talk about they aren't betting themselves, but they are
but
like,
they
hey,
show
we're gonna
They show Hey Otani it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe they do that.
No.
I believe everybody does that.
because you can't even bet that much. The most you can bet is $100.
Yeah, but I still think they're doing it.
so
I
it's
still think they're
nothing.
doing it.
It's
All right, let's go to another one.
Okay, I like this one because I can't see Kendrick Lamar doing this, but there's a bet if Kendrick Lamar will specifically mention Drake during the Super Bowl. And if you if you look at the fine print, it says he has to actually mention him by name, not just song, because there's other prop bets about what kind of Drake song he'll sing, whatever, not like
which one of the retaliatory?
diss tracks,
the diss tracks. Okay, gotcha.
and how many he'll sing. But
Gotcha.
this one
I thought
is
you were being a dumb old man where you're like, I don't know which Drake song Kendrick's gonna sing.
if he's specifically gonna say Drake's name at some time during the Super Bowl, and I'm like, there's no way. And the odds are only -260 on Bovada right now. Some of the books don't even have this. Like, I know everybody's using Hard Rock, but Hard Rock doesn't have, as far as I can see, a lot of these goofy bets that are the funner ones. But if you do have Bovada, I bet the max on he's not mentioning Drake's name, because I can't see him doing that.
Why would the NFL want that?
The NFL doesn't want that. He's not. Why give Drake the promotion in the Super Bowl? Why bring that up when it's your time? You know what I'm saying? It's like a distraction.
True.
So it seems like Kendrick Lamar would never even go into that. Maybe, obviously, one of the popular songs because
I'll say it again.
But he's not going to say like, "Oh, screw you, Drake."
Yeah, I'll say it again. I don't think he should perform that song there. I really believe that. And
he may not.
I don't think he should, because I feel like that is such a. It wasn't exactly like
negative.
It is a fun song, but it's not fun in the idea of like, hey, let's put it on like all party. It's not like celebrate. I know that's a white thing to say, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just not. I don't need that there. It's a song about Drake being a pedophile.
The only problem about betting against that is because it's so popular and people want to hear it that they may, you know what I'm saying? So I'm staying away from that. But mentioning him by name, he's not doing that. I don't think.
I don't think he is.
What do you think, Jeff?
Who's Kendrick Lamar?
No, Jeff's a sports nerd.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like such an old man with this stuff. He's also performing with somebody who I just saw the name written down, and I'm like, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to try.
SZA?
I moved on. Sure.
Yeah.
Is it SZA?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great song. So they're going to do the one that they do together. Okay, that's a fun.
He announced SZA is going to be.
That's a good little track. Yeah, I like that song.
What else you got?
So here's the one that I might end up just retiring from betting after this, because it's so ridiculous, and I know that I'll be yelling at my TV if this loses. But Travis Kelce to display heart hands on the broadcast. And hear me out on this one, Tom, because I did some math for this one. So, if you are going to beckon to a religion, I know this is the one you'd want to. So last week or 2 weeks ago in the championship game, he scores a touchdown and he does the heart hands. So my thought was, well, what are the odds that he doesn't score a touchdown and hence won't get the opportunity to do that? So his anytime touchdown to the no is -145. But will he not do the heart hands is +350. So I feel like this is a good way to just bet on Travis Kelce not scoring a touchdown. But instead of betting $145 to win 100, you could bet 100 to win $350. Now that's assuming you could get that much money down on something so ridiculous. But it was just one of those ones that kind of stood out to me, that it was under a category of the Taylor Swift prop. And it was just the only one that was sort of plus money that I said, yeah, just because he did this one time, I don't think any time old Travis gets a first down, he's going to be, doing heart hands towards the camera there on
Christine said she put money down on Travis giving a Elon Musk Nazi salute after a touchdown. Where did you find that, Christine? You're having to text me, send me. She put money on that. That would flip his whole image.
-850.
That would truly flip his image if he did that, right? Like that would really
one Nazi salute.
Yeah, oh my God, that would change how we think about it.
What about a Nazi hard hand?
I don't even know how you do that. Yeah, my heart. I don't even know.
You kind of
yeah. Don't do that.
It's a flat. You'd have to do a flat.
It's like two hearts, and then your hands
jet
launch off your chest. Yeah.
I agree with you.
The sky.
Also, if they're behind in any time in the game and he scores a touchdown, he's definitely not doing hard hands. Like, you're not going to do that.
No, you don't have time for that.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. And so it was close.
Like, sometimes, I've seen him, and he is a real football player. They'll ask him, sometimes you see him get irritated, and they ask him questions, and he's like,
I've got an actual good one that has a game day instead of a little bit more, a little more serious, less goofy.
He thinks this one's better than yours, is what he's saying.
I've got total fourth down conversions. I found this on Bovada, and the over 2.5 is at +115. That's an entire game, both teams. And so I love that bet at plus 115.
You've never said you love anything.
Because especially with Jalen Hurts and Philadelphia with the tush push and everything, it seems like they're good for 2 4th and 1s that are almost automatic.
More.
Or goal line.
They do that all the time.
And I like this bet too because everybody has screwed up the shortest touchdown distance because everybody now realizes that that's a good bet to bet under 1.5 yards.
Right.
Because you get
the goal line.
Pass interference in the end zone, you get the ball at the 1, and and then with the tush push, it's almost a guarantee. But the juice on that is like minus 180 or something now, so there's no value in it. But I like over 2.5 for the entire game, 4th down conversions. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Yeah, it makes sense with what you're saying because a lot of those numbers are just based on averages. But when you have a team like Philadelphia that goes for it so much on 4th down and is so successful with that particular play that I refuse to say the name of it because I think it's too silly. I don't understand. Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love, and you came up with brotherly shove. That's so clever. Why would you ever go with the other name that you said? It's just one of those things that bothers me.
It's a sexier name.
The brotherly shove is as stupid.
Stupid.
I've said it both. I hate both of them.
Okay.
I hate
Fair
both
enough,
of them.
Equal or as stupid.
Would you accept a few of the other names that I've heard? One of them is windsurfing on Mount Baldy. And then the other one I've heard is canoeing downstream with Abe Lincoln.
Call it the ash shove.
No, you can't call it that. Call it why don't we call it the fudge pack? Let's just call it the fudge pack.
I've got another stupid bet that I'm curious of what Daniel thinks about this. So, what outfit will Jason Kelce wear? Will it be neutral?
No, he's going to wear that stupid little thing his wife picked out for him where he looks like the mayor of an old west town. Where he has a burgundy. He's going to have a burgundy little vest and then a coat and then the little pocket watch chain and then the little Applejack hat. We've all seen him wear this and he looks ridiculous.
Okay, well, that means he's dressed neutral because basically the bet is he going to wear something Eagles or Chiefs or neutral?
Now, he did already come out and say he's rooting for his brother. So
will he wear a Kansas City?
I can't see him.
Something.
No, he's too proud. He's too proud of his accomplishment as a broadcaster.
And he'll get too much flack from the Eagles fans, right? Because he's been an Eagle for so long.
Yeah, he won't want to do that.
So neutral is probably the best bet.
He's going to dress like a fool.
Neutral is 160 plus 164. That's a pretty good bet. If Daniel's correct in his line of thinking that he's going to just be new, I would lean that way too.
He dressed he'll look like a little Peaky Blinders.
Because now that he's in the media, what good is it to piss off either the Kansas City fans or the Eagles fans? You have a successful podcast, you need to make money.
What
you
does
wear
neutral mean? If he wears a red vest to show his allegiance to his brother, is that neutral?
Yeah, that's an iffy one. Did you read the fine print on that one?
The fine print, it says it has to. I believe it said it has to be official. License.
Then he'll be fine.
It has to be something team. It can't just be color.
He's
got a little red in his tie.
No, he's gonna do that. My prediction would be, I could be wrong, but I think he's gonna dress like a Peaky Blinders weirdo. And red to a little love to his brother.
Yeah, just like
green. He's not gonna. He's not gonna.
A politician, he may wear his tie may be red to show hey, I'm with you, but he's not gonna.
Now, let's say you dress as Peaky Blinders, and then on his lapel, he has a tiny Kansas City Chiefs pen.
No, but that, again, why piss off your audience? Because there's a lot of Eagles fans and his podcast are not.
I can't see him doing it. Nope. Talk myself out of it.
Anyway, what do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, that one all comes down to fine print. You said officially licensed gear. So if he wears a shirt that says Philadelphia spelled with an F, I guess that doesn't count. Like team colors, that just seems very iffy. I don't think he would. He was a loyal Philadelphia guy. He played there forever. I seriously doubt he wears something Chiefs gear, but maybe a little something for the Birds. But that's just one of those ones that you guys just brought up so many good questions on how you could argue that you don't win your bet on that one. That I wouldn't trust the bookmaker to pay me on it. But you are getting pretty good odds on it.
I'm talking myself out of it a little further now. Easier to make up for your brother. You always hurt the people you love the most. It'd be easier for him to wear an Eagles outfit than it would be for him to do anything Chiefs. Anything at all. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because, he still
because
can
he
root for
played
he
for
loves
the
his
Eagles,
brother.
yeah.
He loves his brother. That'll never change. Yeah, he won't do it.
But then I go back to neutral because why even do that? Because then again, now his job is media influencer.
Yeah,
so just don't.
Brady's a media influencer. He owns part of a team.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing matters.
Any more last bets, Jeff? You want to throw out there?
Yeah, I want to ask Dan what he thinks this bet means that I bet at 12-1. I bet yes on the octopus. Dan, what do you think that means?
Yes on the octopus. I'm guessing that is a very, very hard bet to hit. It has it's got 6 or 8 different conditions that you have to have in order to make your octopus smile and to win the bet.
I thought you would have a much more degenerate answer for that, but that's okay. It simply means that a player will score a touchdown, and then they'll go for 2, and that same player will get the 2-point conversion.
Oh, that's called the octopus?
That's called the octopus because you're
Never.
basically getting accredited with all 8 points there. I just like this on sort of piggybacking Tom's theory about the shortest touchdown being 1.5 yards, or Philadelphia running the sneaks on 4th down. Very likely that either Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley runs one in, and if they go for 2, that they would call the same number. So do I think this is wildly likely to happen? Not necessarily, but I'm getting such good odds on it at 12-1 that because this kind of fits Philly's style a little bit better, I decided to throw a little money on it.
I looked at that bet. It is pretty square, though, Jeff. I don't know you're the sharp square, but it's very.
Well, I got to hit both sides. I got to have both sides in there, Tom. It can't all be sharp.
I never hit both sides. I only hit one side.
It's very unlikely, but I do agree there may be value into Hurts maybe doing 2 tush pushes, getting both touchdown
Don't
and
get
the
a
2 point.
hemorrhoid.
Or like you said, you're definitely on Philly's side more than Kansas City.
For sure.
No, we lose you?
Nope, you didn't lose me. I was just
My
really
God, you bored yourself.
your statement right there.
It's a joke. You put yourself to sleep, Jeff.
Any last other bets that you see? I like Kareem Hunt's under rushing yards of 45.5.
I like Kareem on the Cobb better.
Because of Pacheco. Even though he hasn't been playing.
I should have said Hunt on the Cobb was the joke. I screwed it up.
But you do have dual running backs of Kansas City that you could use that would probably take rushing yards away from each other. Anything else, Jeff?
I like the anytime touchdowns for you. Just find somebody on the Chiefs who hasn't had a touchdown in 8 weeks because Andy Reid's just the kind of guy who's going to have that secret play drawn up on the back of a napkin. As long as he didn't wipe his mouth after eating his chicky nuggies. He's going to have some play to some guy who you completely forgot about, like a DeAndre Hopkins or that fullback steal, and you can get some pretty good odds on those things. If I do bet the game, I would probably look to an alternate line for the Eagles. I know this might not make that much sense, but I would take the Eagles to win the game by 7 because if the game is super close, I don't feel comfortable about it. But if the Eagles are going to win the game, I think it's probably because they at some point jump out to a big lead in the game and you get a little bit better odds on your return. So if you do dare to bet against the Chiefs, at least you get a little bit more of a payout. But that's just a maybe depending on what kind of numbers I can get.
Isn't that reflected in the normal odds? It's first half it's heavy Eagles, and then second half is almost heavy Chiefs.
Because of
the way the teams play.
Because of how many times the Chiefs have come back to win these type of games.
So they're kind of expecting that, I guess.
But Jeff's exactly right. It's looking at ways you can find value outside the norm, and if the Eagles do win, you're saying there could be a bit better chance of them winning by over a touchdown, especially if they get up, because then they could just run the ball and be in control.
I'm sure that's what they want to do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, get up a touchdown or two and then just have Saquon run it down their throats.
And now that I think about it, Jeff, I keep going back to you not betting against God and that whole narrative.
You're going to apologize to him now?
And I will not apologize.
Okay.
I will and am going to bet against God because
right.
now that convinced me to take the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I will bet.
Tom, why are you betting against me?
Well, it's not even you, God. It's more of they calling Patrick Mahomes God.
Yeah. He's not God. He's not God.
And so, although, Jeff, what do you think? Do you think the NFL would rather have the Chiefs have a three-peat and win it 3 times in a row, or do you think internally that they don't want them to win 3 times in a row?
That's a great question. I was trying to figure this out myself. For me, I think doing the impossible almost proves that it can be done.
It seems to diminish the competitiveness of the sport, or although it does create an instant villain that they like, and
Manchester United or Manchester City in EPL. Yeah. You look over there, you've got the teams that have only won it, and all the other teams never win it, and it does create a good villain.
I go back and forth because I'm like, I could see it helping the NFL and them liking the narrative. Of course, then
it's hard for me to not like Andy Reid, though.
You have, everybody does like Andy Reid. You got Taylor Swift. She's going to be on the field celebrating with Jason.
It's only trendy to say you hate the Chiefs, right? I have no reason to hate the Chiefs at all. None. I know that the chat room's going to try to eat me up with that, but they know in their hearts there's really no reason.
I know, yeah.
You hate them. I get it. You can hate. I hate Tom Brady. I hate John Krasinski from The Office.
Just because they're good.
Just because they're squeaky clean, or I don't trust them or something. But you have no reason to hate the Chiefs, but everybody does because they're killing it.
But then on the other end, there's a story of the Eagles, they won it. They finally defeated the Chiefs.
And their fan base is actually terrible human beings.
And it could. Looking at it, you're right.
And we like the way we're gonna let this is just like the way the world is now, right? We let the terrible people. We have to have the terrible people win. So based on that, then the guy that yelled at the lady and the battery throwers, they should win.
And then next year, there's the narrative of the Chiefs they want revenge. They're gonna try to come back and win, and win another Super Bowl. What do you think?
I think as usual with the printing press of money that is the NFL, they really can't lose here. History and dynasties is always a good thing for sports in general because you remember those teams. They have legacy. I think it would be a cool thing to see a team in this day and age be able to get 3 in a row.
I do too.
But it's mixed with the Chiefs, though, and probably this would happen to any team that was in position to win a third. There's a little bit of Kansas City fatigue out there for lots of reasons. All the Taylor Swift stuff, all the guys being in all the commercials in your face all the time. I don't want to get into a sidebar about the officiating, but there's all sorts of reasons that they have become somewhat the villain. So it might be best for the NFL if somebody else did win just to relieve that fatigue. But it probably would have been better if it was one of the more up-and-coming teams like maybe Washington or Detroit. Yeah. I don't know if people are too nuts about Philly either, as you've mentioned, their fan base. So I think either way, the NFL will keep printing money, and there's a good narrative to spin whatever happens on Sunday.
Well, Jeff, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Yeah. Again, you can listen to Jeff's podcast, The Sharp Square, anywhere podcasts are heard.
You got any special food for the big game that you're cooking up, Jeff, or are you going to sit there and alone and blood eye it with some McDonald's?
No, I don't. The wife will be cooking. I will be nowhere near the kitchen. But I know even if she bases it on one of the teams in play, whatever we eat will be fantastic. But I will be too busy getting intoxicated and yelling at the TV because Travis Kelce is making heart hands.
There you go. There you go. All right, buddy. Well, hey, thanks for doing this, man. We love talking to you, okay?
Thank you. I always appreciate when you guys have me on. It's great, and I appreciate it.
We know that it's the highlight of your year, and you know what? I'm going to keep letting you do it.
See you, Jeff.
All right. See you guys later. Take it
Later,
easy.
man. I like that guy. He's awesome.
So you were talking about smoking something for Super Bowl?
I'm glad that you said that. Man, we've been like linked in lately because he said that his wife is going to decide what to eat based on one of the – and this is a good year. All those complainers saying, I don't want Philly. I don't want Kansas City. Nah, dog. These are two of the best eating teams we could have gotten. You can either do Philly cheesesteaks or you can do barbecue.
Yeah,
this is
yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
Both
Both of these teams have killer things to eat.
The excitement for Super Bowl commercials is dead, right?
It's
no one
been
cares anymore,
dead.
right?
Yeah. That's why they released that stupid Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan. They redid their When Harry Met Sally thing. And Meg Ryan, I'm not even going to comment on her looks. She is who she is. You know, everybody ages, but she doesn't look like the Meg Ryan that I remember because, I said I wasn't going to comment on it. Anyway, they're doing the thing again, and they released it like 2 weeks early because it's like I feel like every year we come back around and we're like we're going to do the commercial this year, and then right before the Super Bowl, everybody gets nervous, like nah, we're not going to get our value. Release it early.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
What's crazy?
Does it feel like that to you?
Yes, I mean the actually debuting it on the Super Bowl
Used to be
seems,
cool.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a thing anymore.
And it used to be there's no secrets. It used to be that the Meg Ryan.
You couldn't
getting
see
back
it
together,
until that night.
Yeah, well, you didn't even know about it.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't. You'd wake up the next day, and then USA Today would like they'd outline all of them, and then you'd go and you'd find them. And you check them out.
And now the celebrities are even like Antonio Banderas is like releasing. He's putting out on social media like him filming the Super Bowl commercial.
Right.
So it's no surprise.
Yeah.
Also, for the fact that no one really cares anymore. It's weird that the Super Bowls are more expensive than ever, and they released the $7 million per 30-second ad, which it just keeps going up every year, and so it just shows you how many live people are watching this and how rare that is nowadays, and the fact that so many people are watching it live. It's just the commercials are just keep going up and up, and I wonder when it hits a plateau, but we haven't seen it yet. You know, like in 10 years, does it go back down where like it peaks at 8-9 million?
Well, then do
go
you
back
change
down?
the game, or is the game forever stuck with TV timeouts?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're not changing that because they need
but
the
the
money.
pacing could change. I mean, like if they privatize it somehow, where I was paying for my football, like
and you're paying without commercials, like
sign me up, dude. You mean I get a shorter game, no TV timeouts or commercials? The game is the game. Keep it the same. Don't make it too crazy. I get a sped up experience, and then when they do have to cut for regular viewership, I just get the live feed of the field. I want that. I want that right now. I would pay for that for every sport I watch. I would pay for that.
Well, I heard a podcast the other day talk about like now the NFL, like obviously they played a game on Netflix, right? And you know how the NFL has forever been trying to, expose their product to different countries, and that's why we play in Europe and like Mexico, Brazil.
Yeah.
And now they're like, because they want to get on broadcast over there.
On Monday, they started kicking around a European league. Did you see that?
No, really?
That was a headline, yeah.
It's
in its infancy, don't get me wrong, but they started kicking that around.
But if you just want the world to consume your product, you put it on Netflix because the world has Netflix.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But the problem with that, too, is you don't have the local broadcasting and advertising that the way to make money, And when I don't know if you watched that game that was on Netflix this year.
Yeah, I did.
But they played commercials.
Yeah.
And so
it was exactly the same
and
to me.
But those commercials were you'd have to start getting into IP address, like who's downloading it and what local commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna turn into back the way it was, where you get the national commercials and then there's a small there's each spot break, there's a couple local that locals can buy, you know, and they've done that for every year. So you'd have to, it'd be a huge process changing it over because there's so much local broadcasting, and but it's going that way.
I think it is going to go that way.
The streaming, and then it's going to be super complicated how they, distribute those rights
AI
and stuff.
going to do it.
AI
is going to be routing everything. I mean, it's wild.
But anyway,
That was fun. Yeah, thanks for setting that up, dude. I love talking to that guy.
we're all going to be watching on Sunday, and like I said, my prediction is Philly wins.
Okay.
And God loses.
Okay.
And I'm going to put my money where my
I'll
mouth
take
is.
KC just for the fun, and I'm a big fan of Andy Reid.
Okay.
I'm gonna shave my beard and just leave my mustache in solidarity.
That's all right.
Yeah, small Andy. I mean, little Andy.
And I will cook and eat one of my shoes if I lose on the air. All right. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Where's that one go?
Thursday, 1 and 2.
Great. He was good. And that's it, right? Or are we doing?
No, that's it. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll do Friday and then
I have some
Monday.
good stuff we didn't do that I want to talk to you about.
Cool, because we have no guests tomorrow, so it's just going
I
to
have
be,
some
we're
good-
just roll through.
I want to talk to you about that card game. And I have a couple other things I want to talk
All
to
right,
you about.
perfect.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, y'all. We'll see you